In a society filled with freedom like the United States, freedom can bring both opportunity and danger. Alexis de Tocqueville, a famous French philosopher, warned that America would face two paths, one where people would completely abandon Christianity and the other where they would return to the Roman Catholic Church. This was not a random prediction. De Tocqueville understood that in a society of freedom, people are not only seeking personal satisfaction, but are also yearning for order, a guiding principle to direct their lives. Without limits, some will fall into chaos, abandoning all moral and social norms. Yet another group will feel the absence, the fatigue of limitless freedom, and will return to the Catholic Church, a place where clear, definitive answers are provided to the most fundamental questions in life. What am I here for? Who am I? And what does it mean to live rightly? It is the clarity and certainty of the Catholic Church in these crucial matters that will draw many back, as they realize that true freedom can only be found in this order. Catholicism is becoming the answer to the most profound questions about morality and the purpose of life. For those seeking a clear moral foundation, Catholicism offers the certainty that many other religions cannot provide. In American society, where freedom is highly valued, many have realized that freedom without structure and direction leads to chaos. As a result, they have turned to Catholicism, a religion that provides protection and order. Catholicism not only offers answers to life's questions, but also provides clear moral principles, what is right and what is wrong, especially on challenging issues like marriage, family, sexuality, and ethics. The Catholic Church gives clear, unambiguous answers, unlike many other religions where views can be vague and lacking in direction. This shift is the result of many in American society feeling lost in their search for a worldview that can be applied to daily life. Catholicism meets this need by offering a system that is livable and applicable to real-life situations. Those who turn to the Church find not only a community but also a path that leads them out of confusion and unanswered questions. What's crucial is that Catholicism is not merely a religious choice. For many, it is the answer to a deep void in life that they have been searching for. When they embrace Catholicism, they do not just receive a spiritual ideal, but a structure and order that help them understand their life's purpose and how to live rightly. With the growth of Catholicism in America, we can observe a clearer trend. Catholicism is not just a religion, but is becoming a pillar of society, shaping moral standards and intellectual thought. Those seeking clarity in life will continue to return to the Catholic Church, because it is the only place offering definitive answers and a solid path forward. De Tocqueville observed that in a democratic society, freedom is a phenomenon never before experienced in human history. However, this absolute freedom can lead to two opposing outcomes. On one hand, some people might be drawn into a freedom without limits, where they reject all forms of moral standards and authority, turning freedom into chaos devoid of direction. Acts such as dyeing hair blue or purple symbolize rebellion, a desperate search for identity in a world filled with uncertainty. These individuals live without clear purpose, merely following passing whims. They possess freedom but not true liberty, because freedom cannot exist without order and moral law. On the other hand, there are those who, upon experiencing this freedom, realize that freedom without direction, structure, or authority leads them to long for a sense of unity, a power greater than themselves to which they can submit. This is the path taken by those who turn to the Catholic Church. They recognize that true freedom does not come from absolute autonomy, but from submitting to God's will, living according to the principles He has set forth. This is why the Catholic Church continues to attract so many people, even those who may not agree with all her teachings. It is the Church's spiritual authority and her ability to address life's deepest questions on morality, human nature, and the purpose of life that draws people in. They respect the Church's authority, and even if they do not believe fully, they wish it were true. They seek clarity, structure, and answers to the complexities of life that other ideologies cannot provide. The Church is answering those fundamental questions with a clarity and authority that is increasingly recognized by many. Thus, the division that de Tocqueville predicted is not a random splitting but a clear choice between two paths, one of aimless freedom and one of submission to God's will. This is a division between those who seek absolute freedom to follow their own desires and those who see that true freedom can only be found in submission to God, in living the way He has ordained. This is the dividing line we see growing clearer today. The authority of the Catholic Church, with all the clarity and guidance it provides, continues to draw people, especially those seeking stability and purpose in life. Because, like a river, freedom can only flow in the right direction if there are boundaries. True freedom, then, is not found in lawlessness, but in the submission to God's will, where we can live the life He intended for us and ultimately find peace and purpose in Him. In America, as in many other countries, society is divided between two extremes in terms of how to live and choose. On one side, there is absolute freedom, where people can do whatever they want without being subject to any moral principles or authority. This freedom manifests itself in individuals trying to change themselves, doing things to stand out, but sometimes forgetting an important thing, the true purpose of life. They may feel free to choose their own way of living, but in reality, they are living in emptiness and lack of direction. However, a large portion of society in America is seeking another path, the path of totally surrendering one's life to God. They realize that it's not just about worshipping Him, but about living a life entirely guided by Him. For them, true freedom is not doing whatever they want without limits, but living within the framework of love and the principles that God has established. Living according to God's will isn't just about professing faith or attending religious ceremonies. It requires a profound transformation in daily life. We need to live the way God desires, following the principles He has taught, from living in humility, treating others justly, to accepting life's hardships and submitting to His will. When we do this, we will experience true freedom, a freedom that is not the right to do whatever we want, but the freedom to live in harmony with the plan God has for us. The Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church alone, is answering humanity's deepest questions about morality, the meaning of life, the essence of being human, and the purpose of life. These aren't just theoretical questions, they are matters of life and death, impacting every action and thought in our daily lives. Today, American society is witnessing a sharp bifurcation. On one side are those who realize that freedom cannot exist without clear boundaries, without an authority to guide moral behavior. They understand that order, structure, and limits are essential to maintaining a stable and humane society. These people turn to the Catholic Church because the Church doesn't just provide clear answers, but also offers strong moral values, helping them live a meaningful life. On the other side, there are those who are swept into the concept of absolute freedom, where there are no limits, and any action is permitted as long as it doesn't infringe on personal liberty. They see "do as thou wilt" as the only path to true freedom, but in reality this leads to a society lacking order, where morality is overlooked and values are constantly questioned. This is why the Catholic Church has become the place where those seeking stability, truth, and meaning can turn. This division is not accidental. It is a deep reflection of a society standing at a crossroads between choosing a moral framework with clear boundaries and embracing unlimited freedom. Those who turn to the Church do so not only because they believe in all of its teachings, but because they realize that the lack of moral authority in modern society is leaving them directionless. The Church provides them with comfort, direction, and guidance in their lives. Those who find truth and peace within the Church will discover that the Catholic Church not only provides a moral framework, but also offers a place to return to live a life with purpose, responsibility, and harmony with God. Do as thou wilt, that is the motto of Satan. Thy will be done is the motto of Christians. This is the great divide between two approaches to freedom. One side is an unlimited freedom, unbound by constraints, where individuals live as they see fit without any guiding principles or direction. This motto, though seemingly liberating, actually leads to disorder, a freedom without purpose or order. It doesn't just cause social fragmentation, but leads individuals astray in a world filled with vague and unclear choices. On the other hand, thy will be done is an obedient freedom in God. It is not blind submission, but a profound freedom found in living according to a purposeful order, an order established by God. Obedience is not a loss of freedom. It is stepping into a higher freedom where every action is meaningful and every decision leads towards a final goal, unity with God. In this light, Catholics do not only seek salvation, but also find a life full of clarity, purpose, and direction. It is in this context that Alexis de Tocqueville's prediction becomes reality. America will either move towards Roman Catholicism or fall into a state of spiritual anarchy, where all moral values and forms of spiritual authority are rejected. This serves as a wake-up call as modern society continually pushes us into a situation where power and obedience are foreign concepts. Yet the Catholic Church remains steadfast as the guide, the light in a dark world. Today we witness many people, especially those coming from Protestant backgrounds, turning to the Catholic Church not just for faith, but for a true community, a family where questions about life, ethics, love, marriage, and purpose have clear answers. The Church does not only provide a firm foundation in faith, but helps each person understand that life is not about ambiguous choices, but a journey towards God with an unchanging, unwavering ideal. One of the key reasons people are leaving Protestantism to join the Catholic Church is the absence of clear boundaries in the teachings of many Protestant denominations. In Protestantism, interpreting Scripture often becomes a personal endeavor, leading to differing understandings and a lack of unity in belief and practice. This ambiguity creates an environment where individuals are left to their own interpretations of Scripture, which can lead to confusion and a lack of certainty in one's faith journey. Without clear guidance, believers can easily veer off course, ultimately leading to deviations in both understanding and action. In contrast, the Catholic Church provides its members with an absolute clarity in matters of faith. Every significant question, whether about morality, the purpose of life, or the role of man, has a definitive answer within the teachings of the Church. Catholicism offers not only answers, but a community where every member can find direction based on the teachings of Christ. The clarity and strength of Catholic teaching are why more and more individuals, especially those from Protestant backgrounds, feel compelled to join the Catholic Church in search of peace and a sure path in their faith lives. This is why people are increasingly seeking boundaries within their faith, something that Protestantism fails to offer. Just like a river needs banks to avoid becoming a swamp, faith requires clear limits to thrive and to provide life to the community. Without these boundaries, faith risks becoming muddled and directionless. The Catholic Church's teaching offers this structure, helping believers feel safe and guided on their journey of faith. In recent years, we have witnessed a major shift in American society, where the principles of Protestantism are beginning to reveal their clear limitations. In reality, as Americans face questions about morality, politics, and life itself, many have realized that Protestantism no longer provides adequate answers. Rather than offering a clear system of doctrine, Protestantism leaves too much room for personal interpretation, leading to division and inconsistency within the faithful community. In contrast, the Catholic Church provides a single authority, a firm doctrine, and a unified community where believers can find concrete and certain guidance. This is why an increasing number of Americans, particularly from Protestant backgrounds, are turning to Catholicism. Catholicism not only offers a complete and clear religion, but also provides a tight-knit community where believers no longer feel alone in their faith. The growth of Catholicism in the US also reflects a global trend where many nations, particularly in the West, are returning to the Catholic faith. This is not only a result of the fragmentation within Protestantism, but also an awareness of the value of loyalty and authority in spiritual life. As society becomes more complex and fragmented, many are finding in Catholicism a place to connect, to unite, and to find stability in a rapidly changing world. Catholicism attracts not only because of its clear moral teachings, but also because it answers the big questions of life. What is the purpose of my life? Swing. What does it mean to be a man? And how can I live a meaningful life? These answers are not subjective interpretations of individuals, but authoritative guidance from the Church, helping the faithful live a complete life according to the principles God has given. With the rise of Catholicism in America, we can predict that in the near future, the US will become one of the largest Catholic countries in the world, not only in terms of the number of believers, but also in the influence of the Catholic Church on society. With the advent of the Internet and artificial intelligence, AI, a pivotal shift has occurred in how we approach faith and religious understanding. Today, individuals are no longer bound by what they hear from pastors or preachers. They can now study the Bible, read the Church Fathers, and explore apologetics from all perspectives, both Catholic and Protestant. It's becoming increasingly clear that Catholic apologetics not only surpasses, but stands light years ahead of Protestant apologetics. Catholicism is not merely a religion, it is a treasure trove of knowledge and truth built over centuries, intricately connected with doctrine, tradition, and history. This is evident not only through official documents, but also through a robust network of communication, where believers can easily find answers to their questions about faith, morals, and life. Questions such as, do Catholics worship Mary? Or what is the Catholic stance on marriage and divorce? Are now answered clearly, authoritatively, and understandably. In contrast, other religious denominations, especially Protestantism, continue to struggle with differences in interpretation and the application of doctrine. Meanwhile, Catholicism offers a clear, coherent path guiding the faithful without the need for uncertainty or doubt about the correctness of their faith. This clarity is not only found in sacred texts, but also in how the Church leads its members to live out that faith. The development of the Internet further enhances the ability to access Catholic apologetics, allowing seekers to directly find answers from authoritative sources rather than relying on misinterpretations or inaccuracies from outside sources. That's why Catholicism is growing stronger and thriving. It is a religion that answers the deepest questions about life, existence, and truth. Therefore, when we look at the modern world, it becomes clear that Catholicism is not only surviving, it is flourishing. It is a religion of truth, of certainty, of unwavering faith, and it is increasingly becoming a guiding light in this tumultuous world. The world is becoming more Catholic, and in a world where freedom is often misunderstood, the Church offers a true sense of liberty. In today's society, we're told that freedom means doing whatever we want, whenever we want. But what happens when we live like that? We end up feeling lost, empty, and disconnected. True freedom, however, isn't about doing whatever we please. It's about choosing the good, the true, and the beautiful. And that's exactly what the Catholic Church offers. It gives us a structure, a path that leads to a meaningful and purposeful life. People are realizing that in a world of chaos and confusion, the Church's teachings provide clarity, direction, and a deep peace that the world simply cannot offer. So why not join us in this journey toward true freedom and peace? Am I crazy for saying this? Leave a comment and let me know your thoughts. If you're interested in learning more about why so many Americans are embracing Catholicism, make sure to check out my next video where I explore this shift in more detail. And don't forget to subscribe to Compatibility World to stay updated with our latest videos. By subscribing, you'll be part of a community seeking truth and understanding in this ever-changing world.